In this training session, we're going to go over your cart settings. Where you're going to want to head to first is at the top navigational bar. We're going to hover over Settings, Shopping Cart Settings, and Cart Settings. Now, all your cart settings is what you want turned on or off for your shopper. Now, with every store that you create, you can have different cart settings per each store. So in our Select Store dropdown, I'm going to go ahead and select our InkSoft demo site. Your first section, you're going to see a huge toggle to the right, which is Enable or Disable your shopping cart. This is whether or not you want your cart turned on or off for this particular store. Your second section is your payment method. We have 3 options here. The first, and what I highly suggest keeping, is required. This is going to force your customer to make a payment on your shopping cart. Optional is going to allow your customer to either put their credit card in or arrange for payment later. And disabled is do not prompt for payment. Your shipping address method and your billing address both have the option of required or disabled or required or optional. Quick checkout. By turning this on, your customer will be able to add a product from your product list to the shopping cart. They're also going to be able to remain on that particular product to continue shopping. A drop down is going to come down from the top navigational bar and say continue to cart if that's the only product that they want to have. Checkout from Designer. If you're thinking about embedding the Design Studio, Checkout from Designer is something you're definitely going to want to have turned on. Checkout from Designer is going to allow your customer to create a design in the Design Studio and check out straight from that module. Display a design on other items. This is going to allow other items to be displayed on a shirt or a hat or a tote bag. Now, this is going to exclude our starter theme, which is our mobile-friendly site. But stay tuned because this is something that we are going to be implementing in the future. Gift message. Do you want your customer to be able to put in Happy Mother's Day? Thank you for being such a great coworker. Any gift message whatsoever, you can have that selected on or off. Now, address book and address verification, 2 things that I highly suggest keeping on. Reason being is your address book is going to remember your customer's address. So when they get in there and they start putting in their information, for example, I start typing in my name, C-O-U. It's going to bring up the address that I've previously purchased with. Your verification is going to verify that address. So maybe if I had a typo or maybe they say, this address looks a little bit better than the one that you entered in. Did you mean this address? So having address book and verification is definitely 2 things I would highly suggest keeping on. Now there's 2 places that you can have names and numbers assigned to your store. The first is your shopping cart and the second is your Design Studio. So if names and numbers is something that you are definitely wanting to have, I highly suggest having it turned on in your cart as well as the Design Studio. So if one or the other gets missed, you're able to then see the names and numbers in both sections. Rounding to 49 cents and 99 cents. If you wanted to have your products round up by the nearest 49 or 99 cents, checking this is definitely something you will want to do. Apply a quantity discount to printing. In your quantity discounts, under pricing, product pricing, and quantity discounts, those quantity discounts are only applying to your blank products. Now, if you wanted that discount to be associated with your printing as well, you can go ahead and check this box and that's going to apply to your print as well as your blank product. Sell and accept gift certificates. This is entirely something that is up to you. If you want to sell a gift certificate and have that be an order, you can have this turned on. Or if you as the admin only want to be the one that's supplying that gift certificate, then you can have just accept gift certificate turned on and your customer will be able to put in their gift certificate code that you've supplied them. Accept a purchase order from any customer and a purchase order attachment, none enabled or required. Now, this is a biggie. A accept purchase order from any customer is saying that if I come on to your site and you have accept from any customer, I can enter in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and check out with that purchase order. Therefore, the only time I would ever suggest accepting a purchase order is when you're actually doing that for a particular store. You want to make sure that you're getting that payment upfront no matter what. You can always, in the user account of a specific user, accept a purchase order from that one user. So having this checked in a cart for any customer to use, I don't suggest doing. Now, if you're someone that loves purchase orders, then absolutely have that checked. And what I would suggest then is for your purchase order attachments, having that set as required. That way your customer can enter in a specific purchase order that you might have sent them a document on. Now, your last 3 sections, non-taxable, federal tax ID, and state tax reseller number. Now, right now you're seeing admin only for every single one of those. Now you have options of ask in cart or require yes to check out. I highly suggest not having this turned on for a specific cart. You can actually turn this on for a specific customer under their user account, the same way that you can have a purchase order accepted by a specific user. Now, the only time I really ever see a non-taxable federal tax ID or state tax reseller number used in a full shopping cart is when you're working with that high-end company that you definitely want every single person to enter in that specific non-taxable federal tax ID number or state tax reseller number. Otherwise, admin only is always going to be your best section to have turned on for these 3 things. Now, once I have things turned on, I'm good to go with the shopping cart. You'll always want to make sure that you come up and save your changes. Now, any other questions that you have over your cart settings, please feel free to reach out to support or go ahead and click on our on-page help guide video and guide for cart settings that will help you see what each thing does in the system on your cart.